Belize is a country of vibrant culture, natural beauty, and resilient people. But for many children, life is still filled with challenges. Children face barriers to education, healthcare, and protection, and live in households lacking income and resources. Some are vulnerable to violence, early unions, and exploitation. Others struggle with mental health, lack of clean water, or the impacts of climate change. These challenges threaten children's ability to survive, thrive, and reach their full potential. This is why UNICEF's work matters. As a response, UNICEF has been working hand in hand with the government of Belize and partners to change this reality. The 2022 to 2026 country program sets the course for bold programs and targeted interventions that deliver lasting change. Through programs in health, education, child protection, social protection, and climate resilience, UNICEF is helping to build a Belize fit for every child. For the past 5 years, we focused on one mission: changing the lives of children. Through technical support, partnerships, and resource mobilization, we've worked to create an environment where Belize fully delivers on its promises under the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Because every child deserves rights, not just in words, but in action. 1. Advancing a resilient health system. Significant progress was made in building a resilient and responsive primary healthcare system, which is essential to achieving universal health coverage. We're strengthening the primary healthcare system, enhancing cold chain and vaccine management, improving maternal and child health, bolstering mental health support for children and adolescents, addressing substance use among adolescents, strengthening the National Community Health Program, and enhancing WASH in health facilities and communities, and generating evidence to help inform appropriate policies and programs for child survival. 2. Reimagining education across the life cycle, rolling out a competency-based curriculum, bridging the digital divide, and creating safe learning spaces. We're helping schools become more inclusive and digitally connected, and ensuring children with disabilities are not left behind. 3. Strengthening national child protection systems and social workforce for the protection of every child. Raising the legal age of marriage to 18, banning corporal punishment, and strengthening justice systems for children. We're strengthening the child protection system for migrant children and those who come in contact and conflict with the law. We're supporting mental health services for adolescents in schools and in times of emergencies and crisis. And we're standardizing parenting support and promoting gender equality for every child. 4. Strengthening social protection systems to make it inclusive and responsive to shocks. UNICEF Belize's progress in contributing to an inclusive, equitable, and shock-responsive social protection system includes building a social protection floor and supporting families with cash transfers for income support in times of crisis and need. We're positioning children's rights in the national agenda with solid evidence to inform policy, strengthen systems, and to drive results for children. 5. Building climate resilience. Ensuring schools and communities are prepared for disasters and have access to safe water. We're working alongside the government to strengthen disaster preparedness, collecting vital data on how climate impacts children, setting baselines, and exploring innovative climate financing and insurance solutions. Together, we're building a stronger national response to protect every child when crisis strikes. We achieved transformative results. Together, we've made real progress in making social systems stronger. Policies and strategies inclusive of children and national capacity is more solid. Thousands of children have been vaccinated and received learning materials. Health workers are now better equipped to care for newborns and mothers. More children are accessing education, both in classrooms and online. Together with Global Partnership for Education, 2-year program aimed at strengthening the education systems. New policies protect children from early marriage and violence. Preventative and responsive programs are accessible for at-risk children to find hope and make positive choices for their lives. Decision makers are using child-sensitive data to coordinate across ministries and civil society to build safety nets that ensure no child is left behind and address the needs of the most vulnerable children. Highlights include the Mix 7 and the situational analysis of children with disabilities. Youth are leading change through platforms like YouReport and the National Children's Parliament. These milestones are not just numbers. Their lives changed, futures protected, and rights upheld. With your support, UNICEF continues to build a brighter, safer, and more just Belize where every child survives, thrives, and lives free from poverty and violence. For over 70 years, we have stood with the children of Belize. Our promise remains unwavering. UNICEF will continue to champion every right, every dream, and every future until every child thrives.